is the guide I'm going to cover today, and tomorrow I'm going to do Jace. I know it's not at the exact time of release, but I'm old, I'm 30, can't get up at 2 a.m. to do this stuff anymore, so you're getting it now. If you want to watch gameplay of Caitlyn, Hell's Devil's got you covered. Go over to Hell's Devil's channel. He's got loads of awesome gameplay for Caitlyn and Jace, and I'll recommend you the same thing tomorrow. Hell's is a great content creator, makes awesome videos, and he's just a generally likable and lovely guy as well. Before we get into this Caitlyn guide, I've got to say a quick shout out to my sponsors, as I haven't done this enough in the past 1,000 billion years. Thanks to G2A for sponsoring the channel. These guys keeping the channel going all the way through the pandemic. They've been really gracious. Even when I've not been able to hit targets, they've been happy to continue supporting the channel. So massive, massive appreciation to G2A for doing that. Hopefully that, makes up for the 60 shout outs that I've missed in the last 2 months. Let's get into the guide. Itemization wise, very traditional AD carry build for Caitlyn. There are two items that are absolutely core in my opinion, which is Infinity Edge and Rapid Fire Cannon. The reason you want Rapid Fire Cannon is it makes Caitlyn shoot halfway across the map. It's a really great item for Caitlyn, and in general synergizes quite well with what her kit wants to do. Apart from her 50 caliber net, Caitlyn is a relatively low mobility AD carry, so you want to utilize that range to really make use of Caitlyn to the greatest extent. I really like Static Shiv. Some people will swear by Storm Razor, but I really like Static Shiv, mostly for the reason that it really just sort of helps nullify the mid-game power trough that Caitlyn has. Post level 5, before level 9 and level 10, Caitlyn drops off compared to a lot of other AD carries until she picks up her third critical strike item, or maybe even her fourth item as well. So Static Shiv helps with that, in my opinion. I like Stasis. Obviously, it's not always the correct enchant. There might also be times where Quicksilver is a better enchant, but I like Stasis. I like Mortal Reminder, and I like Guardian Angel as well. You could also, if there is not as many assassins or burst damage, go for something like a Bloodthirster, which is better for the sustained team fights. In terms of runes, I like Conqueror, I like Brutal, Adaptive Carapace, and Sweet Tooth. The only thing that stands out here that is a bit of a change is Brutal. They recommend that you go for a Gathering Storm. I don't really like Gathering Storm as an AD rune, if I'm honest with you. I don't really like Gathering Storm as an AD rune because AD scalings in general aren't as good. So I much prefer Brutal. Caitlyn is a lane bully AD carry. You could also go for weakness if you land, your 50 caliber net, you're trapped, but I wouldn't recommend it. But Caitlyn is a lane bully AD carry, and you need that Brutal is just going to give you that little extra punch in the laning phase. Especially it synergizes quite nicely with her headshot passive, so that's why I like Brutal. Let's go into game now. Let's talk about what we level up, and then we can talk a little bit about her abilities and some of the combos, because there's some cool combos that you can do with Caitlyn. I know not a lot of people say, she's a bit of a simple champion, but actually there are some cool combos that you can do with Caitlyn, and we need to talk about them. Right, let's go through this slowly. There are two options that you have at level 1 for Caitlyn. You can either go for the Yordle Snap Trap, bearing in mind it only gives you 1 to begin with, or you can go for the Piltover Peacemaker. I personally like Piltover Peacemaker. It's a linear skill shot, deals damage in a line, is a great way at harassing the lane at level 1. We level up. In general, you have two options here as well. You can go for Piltover Peacemaker, Yordle Snap Trap, which is what I would say most Caitlyns go for second, or you can go for the 90 caliber net. There are a few situations where 90 caliber net, in my opinion, makes sense. This is versus level 2 all-in engaged supports, something like Leona or something like Thresh. But for the most part, I think that the Yordle Snap Trap is going to be your best option, especially versus enchanters, where you're not likely to want to be using the 50 caliber net as often. Obviously, at level 3, you're then going to get the net. You're then going to want to put points in Piltover Peacemaker. At level 5, your ultimate. Another point in Piltover Peacemaker. Another point in Piltover Peacemaker. So you are maxing this ability first. And then, beyond that, you're going to max your second ability. You're going to put a point in your ultimate, second ability, and then you're finally going to max... Oh, I missed the ultimate. You're finally going to max your third ability. So what you want is to have Piltover Peacemaker maxed first, Yordle Snap Trap maxed second, and then your 50 caliber net maxed last, with, of course, points going into your ultimate. I'm going to disable Yasuo because we don't care about him, and he's just going to be annoying. So goodbye, bot. Let's kill you. Cool. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of a experiment in the top lane. We'll just see.
Let's investigate.
Off we go. We are going to put an enemy dummy down, and we're going to show you some of the parts of Caitlyn's kit. So you may have noticed when you're basic attacking with Caitlyn, you have this little bar. There's a little meter that fills up below her mana bar. This is your headshot count meter. After your 6th basic attack, your next basic attack will be empowered and deal extra damage. This is called a headshot. If you're in a brush, this stacks up twice as quickly, and it will be on your 4th shot that headshot is dealt. So, obviously, with Caitlyn's extended range as an AD carry, you are going to be wanting to build up headshot stacks as much as possible, and obviously headshots are relatively untradeable for the enemy. They're a really good tool to trade, sort of dealing a lot of damage in the laning phase. There are a couple of combos that you might want to be aware of. A very basic combo with Caitlyn is what we call the net peacemaker combo. You just have something targeted and you tap net peacemaker. You also then get an empowered headshot from the back of that. So the net peacemaker combo is the most basic combo, and it's a good disengage but also damage dealing combo. So again, I'm going to show you that. You're in range of net, you net peacemaker at the same time. Once you get to your end location of the net, you're going to cast the peacemaker and you're going to get an empowered basic attack. Something that I should mention with your both your with your net and your Yordle snap trap is they activate an empowered headshot that gives you a double headshot range. So this happens for both your snap trap and your caliber net. So if you hit someone with your caliber net, it marks them, and you can see that new line, that's your new headshot range. It's basically double your basic attack range, and you can see does a lot of damage. So important to note that those targets will become particularly vulnerable. Now, when it comes to headshots, there are ways to get double and triple headshots in a row, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about now. These are the more specific combos. The first one is headshot into Yordle snap trap into headshot. Okay, very, very simple. The second one is, I'm going to build up another headshot here. And this is also quite simple. Headshot into caliber net into headshot, and that's the one that keeps you further at range as well. So those are quite simple to go through, okay? So I'm going to go through it again. Headshot into Yordle snap trap into headshot. Of course, you can weave basic attacks in between that. I'm actually going to stand in the brush to build up headshot a little bit quicker. The second one is headshot into 50 caliber net into headshot again. It is worth noting that with 50 caliber net, you can actually tie the first combo that we talked about into this double headshot combo. So we can go headshot, caliber net, Piltover Peacemaker into another headshot. Here is where things are going to get spicy, though. This is where we're going to talk about the triple headshot combo. So, you need to headshot, place trap, immediately use your net, Piltover Peacemaker combo, and you're going to get 3 headshots in a row. Okay? So watch this. Headshot, trap, Piltover Peacemaker combo, and you can see here, headshot, followed by headshot. Okay? That's a really, really good way to basically win every trade with Caitlyn. If you can line that up, it's very difficult for the enemy to deal with it. Of course, they're not likely going to step on the trap if they're not stationary like these guys are, and traps do have a setup time, but it is headshot into trap, into Piltover Peacemaker net combo, into double headshot from extended range. You can top that off with Caitlyn's ultimate. Speaking of the ultimate, the range is absolutely ludicrous. I'm actually going to have to keep a ward near this guy because it goes out of range. But you can see here, this is the extended range. I'm firing from all the way down here. It's a very, very long range sniper bullet, and you can use that to finish off your combo. So combos in Caitlyn are pretty simple apart from that. And again, I would say that this is the most advanced combo with Caitlyn. It is headshot, trap, Piltover Peacemaker combo into double headshot, and then obviously then you can finish them off with the ultimate. And that in total deals a decent amount of damage, even though I'm only level 15 with a single longsword. That is Caitlyn, guys. Enjoy her, go play her, have fun.